Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litsa and today is our SuperCALafragalistic August 2024 roundup, or little show and tell of all the cows that I've been participating in for the month of August for 2024. Now today's a beautiful sunny day here in Sydney, Australia. It is the 1st of September, which marks the first day of spring, I'm pretty sure. And please pardon any, sneezing or coughing or watery eyes, because I certainly am feeling the hay fever symptoms. I haven't had them very much in the past, but all of a sudden they've come with age, I guess. But I do have a nice cup of coffee in case I need a little sip. But for now, we're here to catch up with all the crochet. Now, I know a lot of you are also participating in these cows, and I hope you've had as much fun as I've had keeping up. I can't believe that we've already finished 8 months of the year, and we're going to be starting on September projects after this video. So, as always, I always say this as a little disclaimer in the beginning. They are in no order other than love for everyone. They just happen to pop up on my clipboard, and that's how we proceed. So the very first one we are going to talk about is the movie marquee. Now the movie marquee is hosted by our friends Bella over at Bella's Crochet Gifts, and then Heather, the Crochet Witch, and Samantha at Amethyst Craftworks. Now, each and every month, one of them, and this month, so the month gone, which is August, Bella is the one that chose a movie. So they choose 4 times a year in a round, and then we get inspiration from the movie poster. And as you saw, the month for August, the movie poster was Oscar. Now, this is a movie that I cannot believe that I have not seen. It stars Sylvester Stallone, and he is one of my favourite actors of all time, which I'm sure most of you would have him up there in your list as well. So I do really want to go and see this movie because Bella, gave us a little blurb about the movie, and it sounded really fun and interesting. So the colours, as you saw on this, are predominantly black, red and white. So what I did is I combined the black and the white to make 2 shades of grey, because I didn't want to make another black and white and red blanket for Camp Boggy Creek, because that's where all of my blankets are destined to go, each and every one that I'm making for each month. I have already sent the first 6 months of the year off to them, and you might want to go and see that video if you wish, and there are a few surprises in there as well. I didn't just send my blankets. So back to the movie marquee challenge for August. So as we said, the inspiration was Oscar, the movie poster from Oscar. And I thought, what am I going to do that's a little bit different to the blankets that I've been creating? So I wanted to do something like a gingham look blanket. You may be familiar with those. And when I actually typed that into the YouTube search bar, Fiber Spiders tutorial, so there's 4 tutorials popped up for a join as you go corner to corner style blanket, and I was intrigued by that because I love corner to corner blankets, as a lot of us do, but I'd never done a join as you go one before. So of course I started watching the videos, and they're amazing, and I highly recommend you watch them if you want to learn this technique if you don't already know it. I know how to do join as you go granny squares, but I did not know how to do the corner to corner join as you go. I hope I'm saying that all correctly. So basically, after watching the 4 videos, I decided that's exactly what I was going to do. I picked up my Spot Saver yarn, which is this 10 ply yarn here, which is 100% acrylic, and I chose the colors, the 2 different grays, because you need 3 colors to make a gingham style looking blanket, and I also popped in the red. Now I was very lucky that the red component was one of the colors that I used the least, because this was the last of the red that I have in this shade. I do have a couple of other shades, and I can't find this one again because it's quite old. I did end up using about 2 balls of the gray, the light gray, because that's, or silver, that's the color that is predominantly in here, and this is the darker gray color, and this was just over 1 200-gram ball. So that's quite a bit of yarn in there, and I did decide that I'd map it out before I started. So here you'll see my little map. Is it upside down? I'm not sure, because I really didn't want to confuse myself. See the arrows? That's the way I made sure, as I was joining the corner to corner squares together, that I was making sure that I was going in the right direction for the color combination. And also I measured that each square was 7 by 7 inches because it is a Boggy Creek blanket and they do have specific measurements. So this blanket ended up being 49 by 35 because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in depth and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 across in length. So that made it just perfect, 49 by 35 inches, and then a small scallop border. So let me show you the end result. Now I will show you up close what the squares look like as well, and then the little scallop edge border. So there you go, very simple edge border just to bring it all together. But as you can see, there is no join that's visible because it is join as you go, and it is a very simple technique. Oh, which way will I show it to you guys? Maybe this way. It is a very simple technique to follow. Now I'm not sure if it actually got the gingham effect look, but in saying that, I don't really mind. I think it's a very pretty blanket. We are trying to keep them as bright as we can for the children, but I think that this one would be quite nice for maybe an older child, or whichever child chooses to use it. Now what I need to make to go with this as well is a tumbleweed. So I haven't made that as yet, but before I send them off, I will be sure to make a tumbleweed with these 3 colors in it. And hopefully some child will enjoy it as much as I enjoyed putting it together for them. Now, I do highly recommend, if you are going to do this, that you watch all videos in a row. The first one is for the novice, the very new at corner to corner, and that may be you. And if it is, you know, it's a beautiful tutorial. And then it shows you the joins for the end bits, so the side one, and then for all of the middle ones as well, including the top row and the bottom and the middle sections. And take note of what he says, because you don't sew in your very first end, because that is always a guide to which direction you're going in. So that's just my only little tip. You know, don't be tempted to sew in which I didn't do actually, sew in your ends as you go. Of course, that's great. I did them all at the end, which took a little bit of time, but do not sew that very first one that you start off in the very first corner, because that will be your guiding light throughout this blanket. So that's my very first little cowl that I've been participating in. So thank you so much for putting this on, hosting it for us, Bella, Heather and Samantha. I've really enjoyed you know, crocheting along with you. Please go and visit their channels, because they're all doing different projects and you might want to go and see what they're up to as well. Now this month is Samantha's choice, so I wonder what movie she'll be choosing for us. Now the next crochet along, I guess I'm calling it that, or make along, is with our friend Erin over at Crafting Kitty. Now she's putting on the Creator Spotlight, and every month she chooses a creator to spotlight or to highlight, and we have the opportunity to go into their YouTube channels or Ravelry or Etsy stores, or buy a book if they've published one with patterns in it, and create something from there, all their different patterns. Now this young designer is TCD DIY. Now I myself had never heard of this designer before, and what a shame that is, because when my children were younger, or like my daughter and her friends and my daughter-in-law a couple of years ago, I'm sure they would have appreciated something like this festival top. So I'll talk to you about it in a minute. Now if you haven't already visited this designer, she's got so many tutorials, and not just for the young at heart, because as you can imagine, I will not be wearing this, but I do have a couple of candidates in mind that might want to take it off my hands and enjoy wearing it. There are things like coats, and like jackets or dusters, cardigans, lots of tops like jumpers or sweaters. So I will be revisiting the channel, because I have to tell you, the tutorial, the YouTube tutorial, was very easy to follow. It's actually called the Crochet Festival Triangle Halter Top, and it's from 5 years ago. So this young designer has been around for quite a while, let me tell you. And the tutorial was only about 12 minutes long, so it's very quick and easy to follow. Now the yarn that I use for this is beautiful yarn. It's this bamboo yarn here. So let me just show you. The one that I use is the light blue, and I use just over 1 ball. The balls are 50 grams each, so maybe around 60-65 grams. And this is the yarn here. It's just called bamboo, and it is, sorry, a bamboo blend yarn, and it's 55% bamboo and 45% cotton. The company is called Yatsal, Y-A-T-S-A-L, and it's an Australian-owned company since 1965. That's actually my birth year, if anyone wanted to know. So they have been around for quite a long time, almost 60 years, and I don't know if I'd seen this brand before. I may have, or just missed it on the ball band, but I will be looking out for any yarn that's made by them now, because this yarn is amazing. I was very fortunate to be gifted a whole bag of this yarn by our wonderful friend Thea. So now I've used the light blue and I still have these colors to go. So I will definitely be making another wearable, at the very least another, because it goes a very long way, this yarn. It is quite fine, and it tells you to use like it suggests or recommends a 3mm hook, but I actually used my 4.5mm hook, so you can have a lovely drape. Now let's get back to the pattern. But as I said, this yarn, and I had never used bamboo blend yarn, or just bamboo yarn before, but with the cotton, it's absolutely beautiful to work with. And it has such a beautiful feel, this yarn. It's quite silky and smooth. Highly, highly recommended. Or something that's a similar blend. Obviously, we can't all get the exact same yarn, but something that's similar. So let's talk about this pattern. Now, what I love about this design here for this halter top is that it's very much adjustable to your body size, or the person you're making it for, depending on your cup size. All you have to do is just grow the triangle more. So as you can imagine, whatever size you need it, you can create it, which then means that the band here grows longer and gives that extra support. Because here on the side, you can see that you end up attaching some yarn and creating the side bands. And with this, again, you can also customize it to grow it as long as you like. And of course, you have the little straps. Once again, you know, if it's longer here or wider here, you'd have extra holes to thread through your yarn, your strap. Now this is very, very simple, the strap. All you do is a chain, but I used 2 strands of the yarn to make it a little bit sturdier. And the designer did say to make this, the 2 straps 60 inches long. Now you can make them as long or as short as you like. Now for this size person wearing this top, you have an awful lot of you know, strap left there, but that's okay. It depends how you like to wear your outfits, and of course as low as you like to also bring it as well in the front. So it is very, very adjustable and customizable, which is wonderful, and it's got such a pretty design here. I hope you can all see it. I wish, you know, that wasn't there so you could actually see it better, but it is such a pretty top, and it didn't take very long at all to make. And as I said, the tutorial was awesome to follow, very quick, and I can't fault it in any way. So thank you so much, Erin, for introducing myself and maybe some others to a wonderful designer. So that is the designer for August, and I wonder who we'll be creating from in September. We will soon find out. Now the next one, of course, is the blanket that I'm creating for the Music Theory 101, and it's by our friend Neva over at Manic Mama Musings. Now I have 4 squares to show you this month. So basically what happens, Neva has a playlist of all her favorite albums, and she draws one every week and she lets us know what the album is, so we get inspiration from the album cover, the colors, to create whatever we want. Some people are making a year-long project like myself. Some may be doing, you know, little projects each month, whether they be amigurumi or, you know, wearables or baskets or whatever it may be, homewares or what have you. People are switching it up any which way they like, but, you know, basically we draw inspiration from that album cover. Now I have laid it down just before I got on to show, you know, have a chat with you, a photo of the whole blanket, so you can get an idea of where we're at with it. Now it's 30 weeks worth, but there are 32 squares. You can't see the 2 in the top corners because they're black. So I needed to make the extra 4 squares in the corner black to make sure that it balanced out to 50 56 squares because there are 52 weeks in the year and my blanket needed 56 squares. So that's what it looks like, because it's very hard for me to actually pick it up and show it to you as I, when I'm pulling it out, and I don't think you've ever really seen what it looks like properly. So let me grab my notes here so I can show you week by week and square by square. Now, the very first one, and the thing that I didn't say to you is that each of my squares are, what are they called? Solid granny squares, and there's 7 rows each. In the center and the 7th row, which is my join as you go row, they're in black, and in between you'll see the color inspirations from the albums, and that's what brings it all together. The black draws it all in together. I thought it was a nice color to join because there's a lot of bright colors in here as well. Well, there's every color you can imagine, which is wonderful. I'm very lucky to have a tote full of Marvel 8-ply or DK weight yarn. This is just the black that I'm using to join them together to draw colors from. So it has been wonderful because it means I have a large variety of colors to choose from and can basically make all the albums come to life. And I am using a 5mm hook with them, which is generally the hook that I use with my Marvel 8-ply yarn. So the very first one that we are, so week 28 is Pretty in Pink. As you can imagine, there wasn't much creativity there. The square, I decided to make it all pink. At first I thought about putting in different pinks, but it actually looks nice to have a solid square in this blanket as well. And then let me flip it over so it's a bit easier for you to see. And then the next one that we drew inspiration from is here from Lindsay Sterling. There it is there. So week 29. There it is up close for you. Now I looked at her violin and the green there, and then the red belt. So this is all, the red part of her dress, and this is what I came up with, guys. Now in there you can see there's browns and greens, and there's the red middle part of her dress there. So I thought that kind of represented it quite nicely. And then we have week 30, Love Whitney by Whitney Houston. Absolutely gorgeous. Now I drew inspiration, my eye drew to the green, and I looked at it like green sparkle, and there's like a navy blue in her dress and the background. So I decided that I would put this square together. Now that, I'm not sure if he picks it up in the camera, but that's actual sparkle yarn. So it does sparkle, which comes off as sparkly, greeny, kind of like the album cover, I thought. And then I have to flip this right over, guys, because now I'm on another row. So let's bring this one out for you. I just love that I have to maneuver it this way, but it is working. So this one here is week number 31, and it's Into the Gap by the Thompson Twins. And immediately my eye went to the world globe, like the map of the world. After all, we are one community, aren't we, guys? And that's what these cows are all about. So I just had to represent that in these colors here. Oops, there we go. Very simple, but I thought that it was perfect because it picked up all the colors in that globe. Just perfect. So that's the progress on that blanket now. So we do have another, 22 squares to go, 22 weeks plus the the 2 black ones in the corners. So I am very, very happy that I've been keeping up with this blanket, and I have to admit that it is one of my favorite blankets that I have created to date. I don't know what it is about it. It might be the simplicity of the squares that I'm making, or the joy that it brings me trying to, get the inspiration of each album cover. And it is coming together very, very nicely. It's great because it's freeing as well. That's what I love about it. You don't have to really think about what's coming up next. It's just handed to you. So that's wonderful. Excuse me while I take a sip. Thank you. My throat was getting a little bit tickly. Now, next we have the 2 amigurumi cows that I'm participating in. Originally it was, of course, to support my beautiful yarny friends, and then the bonus was that I actually got to perfect or work on my amigurumi skills, which is somewhere where I'm still quite new, but getting better, I think, with each time. The frustration isn't as great as it used to be, and I have worked out that my biggest challenge is just crocheting all the little bits and pieces together, but I will direct you to a couple of tutorials that will definitely help you, because they definitely help me. You may have already seen them by now though. So the first one that I'll talk to you about is the cowl, which is the hashtag Amigurumi World Tour 2024. This book here is going around the world in 2 directions, because our friend Cassandra over at Craftably Ever After decided that she was going to send them out to the world so that we can all start creating from them. This book is Whimsical Stitches by Lauren Espy, and let me tell you, for those of you that may not know, Lauren is following along. So hello, Lauren, if you happen to come by and hang out with us here at Coco's Crochet, you are very, very welcome. So one book is going to the USA, and one book is going internationally and arriving here in Sydney, Australia, as the very last place it lands before it goes back to Cassandra. So I'm always wondering what will be left for me to make. Whatever it is, I'm going to have to make it. I would have made it anyway, right? So as it travels around the world, we have the opportunity to make crochet along with all of our friends that are choosing each project each time. There isn't really a time limit or factor on this one, because it all depends on when it arrives to its destination, its next point of destination. So for this month, I have 3 things that I made to show you. And I'm following the international book, in case I didn't mention that. Now, the great thing is that we do use our 4mm hook to create all of these, and our Spot Saver yarn, which is the same yarn I use for my movie marquee blanket, and the same yarn and hook size that I use for the next cowl that I'm going to show you. So the fact that it's a 4mm hook was very attractive to me, because once again, it's not a tiny, tiny hook. And also, considering it's not a tiny, tiny hook, the makes aren't huge or tiny either. They just seem to be the right size. So the very first one that that I'm going to show you for August is this little bunny here. And I have to say, I did have a lot of fun making him. The carrot is my favorite, not going to lie. He's even got a little pink cotton tail. Now, the tutorials I was going to direct you to, if you haven't already seen them, they're on Cassandra's channel, and she shows you how to sew on like an open neck and ears. She actually puts them on a bear, but you can apply that to any amigurumi animal that you're making, and it actually has really, really been a lifesaver for me. It's actually, what is it? Life-changing, is that the expression? I never get it right, but it's just been great. So if you haven't seen those tutorials, I highly recommend that you go and see them. Now, this little bunny, I had put him down for a while because I was getting a little bit frustrated, and there you were. It's like Cassandra read my mind and she put those videos out. He's also got Cassandra's embroidered eye, so that's another video you might like to go and see on her channel. And I didn't mention it when I was telling you about the book. If you go to Cassandra's community tab, she actually, and her blog, she actually has a journal where she's putting in all our photos that we're sending to her of each and every make. So I think that is wonderful, and I definitely have been sending my photos in and checking everybody else's out. It's great. And there are a lot of videos on YouTube, so anyone that's making one of their makes on there and has a YouTube channel, you can go and see what they thought about making the patterns as well. Now, the next thing that I'm bringing you is a tomato. As you can imagine, this was very simple to make, and I really did enjoy it, and I really like sewing on the stem part as well. It was nice and easy to make, and it was a lot of fun. And then I also made a strawberry. I didn't make the blueberries, but I made the strawberry. Now I want to show you how my strawberry looks sitting in amongst his friends. It's hard to find him, isn't it? He's actually there. And here he is here. Ugh, how can I hold? There you go. Of course, as you can imagine, another very simple and quick make, which was a lot of fun. And I can't even think on the top of my head what the next one is, but I will be catching up with that one as soon as I can. So that's that one there. Now, the next amigurumi cowl that I'm participating in is with our friend Sally over at Nanny Moon's Crochet, and it is the hashtag Crochet Donut Cowl 2024. Now, our friend Sally had this book just sitting in her library, and a lot of you might as well. I went and bought it to join in with her. This Crochet Donut Buddies book. And in here are some very cute donuts to make. Now, for all of my food for Cassandra's Cal, I do not put eyes on it. You know I do not like my food staring up at me, but for these crochet donut buddies, I am putting faces on them if it requires them. But if it's something like a flower or something like that, I won't be putting eyes on, unless it's something that's like a little animal or something like that. So I have been using my Spot Saver yarn, a 4mm hook. Sometimes the little parts, and they are a little bit fiddly on a tiny donut, as you can imagine, we use like a 3 or a 3.5mm hook, and that's okay. And for all of them, I'm using goggly eyes. So the first one that I made, well, August, what I made for August is this crab. I actually really like the crab. Hold on, it's this way, upside down. I really like the little freeloader, the starfish, and of course the goggly eyes. Now, I didn't make the legs as it wanted us to make them into little tiny tubes. I just crocheted a chain and then single crocheted back. But it absolutely worked, and they live up there. So I'll put them back there soon. And then our little frog. Little chicken drumsticks for legs. It's like he's high-fiving you there, isn't it? I can pop that down. And again, the goggly eyes. So he was very, very sweet and cute to make. And now I do believe that we're up to the pumpkin. So that'll be perfect for all of you who will be coming into autumn or fall soon up in the Northern Hemisphere, and everyone that likes to decorate with pumpkins for that season, or for people that love Halloween. I think pumpkins are a big part of that too. So it will be a fun one to make. I can't wait for that one. So thank you, Sally and Cassandra, for putting in those wonderful cows. I'm actually really enjoying the challenges and having fun along the way, sharing with everybody. And again, that community feel is just wonderful. Now, the last crochet along that I'm going to talk to you about is ours. So I have to read this because it's such a huge title. What was I thinking? So it's hashtag Crochet Through the Decades Cal 2024. All entries have now been submitted for August, and they are over here, guys. So I'm reaching over. They're all in here. So I'm going to endeavor to put together this video because I don't want to miss out any information by next Sunday. So get ready to come back, hang out with all of us so you can vote. So basically with this crochet along, if you don't know about it, let me tell you about it now, because you've got every opportunity to join in for September, October, November. So for August, it was the 1960s that we're highlighting. You can draw inspiration from anywhere you like, whether it be colors, decor, food, fashion. You can go and see my original video, which is in the playlist, and you can, hear all about that. And then we have the 1960s for September, 1970s for October, and 1990s for November, because we're going to gear up for Christmas in December, so we left it at that. Everybody has come up with so many great ideas. I've been blown away. It's just so amazing. I cannot wait to bring it to you. So basically how it works, you get a point or your name in a jar for every month that you enter, and from that we'll draw one winner. And all of this is just for a bit of fun. I always say this, we're all winners anyway, but just for a little bit of fun along the way. And in the other jar, you'll have an opportunity 1 out of 4 months to win, because each month there'll only be one winner because we vote for our favorite make. Now, they're all going to be anonymous. There'll be no bias attached because no one will know who made what except for me. And then at the very end, of course, you will all find out. So come along next Sunday so you can see that video where I showcase everyone's August entries. I cannot wait to bring you that. And of course, I'll be showing you what I made as well. So that's it, guys. August, where is my clipboard? We can actually do my favorite part of all, which is, hold on, tick. Done and dusted. August, SuperCALafragalistic, all the cows that I've been involved in, and boy have I had a lot of fun. It's always happening in the background, all of these makes, so rest assured I don't make them the night before because that would be highly impossible. That blanket for the movie marquee was coming to work with me every single day, and I was working on it before school and at lunchtime, and it was just such a nice relaxing make. And I actually watch YouTube videos while I do it, so I have a proper break when I'm there as well. So these cows are actually really good on so many levels. Community feel, learning new skills and experiences, introduced to new designers or YouTube channels, learning new techniques, like we said, for example, this corner to corner, join as you go. And just, you know, something that is challenging, but also some of them can be mindless as well, like just keeping you occupied, but just giving you joy the whole time. And, you know, even though some of those amigurumis drive me crazy when I'm making them, the end result is always worth it. So thank you, each and every one of you, for hosting so many amazing things for us to join in. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to what we all get up to in September. So I hope you're all keeping very, very well. And until I see you all very, very soon, take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.